Well, sit longer, you may have to pay more. That's precisely what Bengaluru Hotels Association is mulling over. There's a debate brewing in the cafe capital of India, Bengaluru, and it could really change the way Bengalurians work, meet, and unwind. And if successful, it may just spill over to other cities across India. Now, when you walk into a cafe for a quick coffee, you may have seen people really sitting around, staying in the cafe for hours, finishing a meeting, catching up with friends, working from a cozy corner on your laptop. Well, that's the cafe culture that the city is known for, and it's been thriving and only growing. Well, but that habit may just come with a price tag. Hotel and cafe owners across Bengaluru city, under the banner of the Bengaluru Hotel Owners Association, are discussing the introduction of table charges, effectively an hourly fee or penalty for customers who occupy seats for long durations after placing minimal orders, maybe just one coffee. The argument from the industry is reduced table turnover, revenue lost during peak hours if they have limited seating capacity, especially in busy commercial hubs. In fact, one cafe in Bengaluru has already reportedly implemented a 1,000 rupee charge per hour for long staying and low spending customers. They also have signages that says meetings are not allowed here. Several establishments have begun informally requesting patrons to vacate seats during rush hours, but now the proposal aims to formalize this practice, possibly even seeking government approval on this. So, where did this idea really come from? Well, this model here is similar to parking charges. You stay longer than reasonable without proportional spending, you pay extra. Will table charges really protect small businesses if they're implemented? Will it improve fairness? Ultimately, rent, electricity, Wi-Fi, staff salaries, air conditioning cost, all of that keep running every hour, regardless of how little a customer spends. A family ordering a full meal shouldn't really be denied and be kept waiting outside just to cater to a person or a couple of people nursing a cappuccino for 3 hours. So where's the fairness here? At the same time, we're looking at penalizing customers. Well, this cafe culture in Bengaluru, that people there taking meetings with your laptops, chatting for hours. How much can you really eat? When you have a meeting, you can have a coffee, a couple of snacks. Well, but this culture is really what made Bengaluru at the end of it. Cafe culture in Bengaluru is really thriving, and that's being emulated in other cities as well. People there lingering around over conversations and work. This is what has built Bengaluru's vibrant cafe economy. Now, what's the solution then? Higher bills? Should you buy more? Smarter models like minimum spends, reservations, better seating management? Should cafes really charge for time or focus on winning loyalty instead? In a city of startups and remote work, is this smart business reform, or will this mean an end to cafe culture as we know it? Let me quickly bring in Professor Bijan Mishra, consumer policy expert, PC Rao, President, Bengaluru Hotels Owners Association, and also Binod Jacob, civic activist of Bengaluru. Thanks very much to all of you. PC Rao, I'll start with you. What's the ask? Okay, we seem to have a network issue there. Professor Bijan Mishra, what's your take on that? Charge per table per hour if you're sitting around for ordering not much.
Nabila, you have already packaged it very well in your opening remarks. You have covered all the dimensions. You see, the most important aspect a consumer wants is there should be a standard. I must know before I buy any product or service, what is it that I would be liable to pay, under what quality conditions or what standards I should expect out of that payment. That's the first thing. The second thing is I should have choice. You see, you can't compel me to pay for something which I don't want. So you will have to make sure that, you make it very transparent. You make it very accountable in terms of information. You have to make sure that whatever you want to bring in, it has to be fair. There cannot be any kind of an unfair trade practice to be adopted where you compel somebody to buy something which he doesn't want to buy. So all these aspects, you need to make it very clear right from the beginning and set a standard and tell the customer that, look, I don't mind you coming into my shop and I don't mind giving you the service, but this is the price you have to pay for. And that has to be made very clear before it comes in. And then I heard you saying that they're also trying to get vetted by the government, and they want to ensure that it doesn't look an illegal kind of a activity. So I think they're moving
What's the
in the right
solution?
direction.
You know, how do restaurants recover their cost? I did mention on ACs and, you know, staff salaries, your functioning, an entire restaurant or a cafe can't be, you know, often having customers just sitting around ordering a coffee, because then business gets tough.
When you fix the MRP, Nabila, when you fix the cost, you take all the input cost into consideration, and then you come into a markup in terms of this is going to be my MRP. So when you are deciding that, you can't just offhand tell the customer that from tomorrow I'm going to charge you this, or right now I'm going to charge you this because you just bought a cup of coffee and you sat here for 2 hours. No, that's not fair. That's not a fair practice. You have to give them enough opportunity to make a choice. Whether I want to come to you or not, that's my choice as a consumer. Whether I want to pay you for that extra charge or not, that's my choice. But you can't charge me for something which I was not knowing about.
Okay.
Or I had no information.
But what if are you encouraging of a restaurant saying no meetings here, a board there that says no meetings here? Are you encouraging of the restaurant clearly mentioning that during peak hours the table will be available only for this, maybe an hour? Are you clear? Are you okay with restaurants being very clear to their customers, or is this a way to drive away people, you know, because it's not a warm welcome to me when I'm walking in?
No. It's not a question of driving away. You see, it's a question of your right to choice, your right to information, your right to standard. So as a consumer, I have these rights, and I should be able to represent also. Like if supposing somebody tries to push something on me which is not comfortable for me.
So that's what I'm asking you. Are you okay if the restaurant is making it clear through signages?
Yes, of course, in a language which the customer will understand. Not you can't put a signage which the customer may not be able to read and understand.
Yeah.
So you have to make it very clear that the customer knows that language and is able to understand before he enters into that premise.
And you know, but actually, I should say that I mean, I'm from Bengaluru myself, and I love the cafes there. It's beautiful. But I know where I can sit and where I can't. Okay, so if I go to a Koshi's, for example, it's not really a cafe, but it's a busy restaurant / cafe. You go for coffee. Koshi's has coffee. Koshi's has liver on toast. It has full meals. It has all kinds, right? But I know not to sit there too long because there are people waiting, and it's a crowd, and waiters are so well trained. If you're done, they'll come and slap the bill on the table immediately. They won't not wait, right? So when the bill is in front of you, you're forced to pay and leave.
I'll have to stop you here. You should go and visit sometime the coffee houses in College Street of Calcutta. You know, the people assemble there just to have a cup of coffee, and you won't believe it, 4 people sharing 1 cup of coffee. You know, my contention is that the restaurant is doing good business.
Yeah.
They are having so much of turnover. You know, the volume is there. The restaurant is not losing business.
Okay.
They want such people to come.
Okay, let's see. PC Rao is the president of the Bengaluru Hotels Owners Association. Sir, welcome. Long time since I saw you. Thanks for joining us. What's really the ask from the association? What are you worried about?
Our main motto is not to punish or not to put any penalty to our customers. Customers are very important for us to hotel business. And in fact, Bangalore has got very beautiful name, having good number of customers, varieties of food at the affordable rate. But the issue now is some of the hotels and some of the customers are misusing our place for wrongly things, discussion of their real estate work or antisocial elements, sitting for a longer time, more than 1 hour. For a cup of coffee, 15 minutes, 30 minutes is really enough. We were not questioning them even for 60 minutes. If they still sit, it will going to disturb the family customers. It is disturbing to the customer only, particularly to the family customer. If they shout, if they quarrel, all those things has many places it has happened. This is especially in the remote places like Nalamangala, Hoskote, KR in such areas where there are a lot of real estate businesses going on. They're using a hotel table for a longer time. There, we will request them to make a space for the new customer first. But still, if they don't agree, we will show them the board. We will put a board. This hotel is to eat the food. You can enjoy the food. This table is for the customers to have the food only. We have to collect money. It is not a penalty or anything. We are just putting a board, 500 or 1,000 rupees, as if the customer wants to sit for a more time. See, for such sitting for a more time, there are a lot of workplaces are there. There are a
Co-working
lot of other
spaces,
clubs
there are
there.
library, I mean, I don't know, libraries you can't really talk, but there are co-working spaces. Bangalore thrives. Bangalore has a great park culture. There's lots of green spaces that you go and
Clubs are there.
can sit around.
Clubs are there. There all it is allowed, but in a place like a hotel which is having 10 tables and 40 chairs, if two or three young people comes and sit, then the other customer will come and have it.
Okay.
And
So,
it also will be filled by these people
no,
continuously
so
for 2
sir,
hours.
instead of, see, you, ultimately, I would, if I'm talking about my personal experience, if I would go into a place where I'm welcomed, where I'm feeling warm. If there is even a little bit of animosity or hostility from the side of the waiters or the restaurant admin, I would walk out and I would never go back to that place because I want to feel welcome. I would probably one day order lots, next day order very little. Day after that, I would have people, friends that I want to treat there. I mean, it all depends on the warmth I get in that place, right? If I'm not feeling comfortable and not welcome, then I would not come back. So will you be risking customers, by doing something like this, by imposing a table charge per hour?
No, we are not penalizing and putting any penalty on them.
But ultimately,
Method,
what you do might set precedent across the country. Maybe all across India, there could be a rule that will come up that tables per hour could be charged. So, think wisely.
I'll just give an example. Since 3 months, VBMP has started a penalty for if I put a garbage on the road.
Yeah.
And they have collected 30 lakhs. Today, putting on the road garbage has come down by 75%.
But you can't compare customers to garbage,
I'm just
sir.
giving, the news has come up from last
that
3 days.
You want to discourage people from littering.
No,
this is not the same. You can't equate this.
No. I'm just from the last 3 days after this news comes, there is around 50% reduce in the customers staying for a long time. They come and have the coffee now. It's already the way.
So was this a marketing gimmick? You just wanted this to go out in the news? You wanted to go out in the news so that people listen to it and they're like, okay, fine, let's show some respect.
It is a little bit educating the such type of customers.
Okay.
You see, there is a lot of.
But I want to know, Vinod, Jacob, do we know if this is is there anywhere in the world that follows a rule like this? Are we asking for too much, or is this too harsh on the hotel association?
Yeah.
Thank you,
Nabila, for having me.
Yes.
And greetings to my co-panelists and your viewers. I think there is something called the cover charge and the cork charges and all that in abroad, where it is also discounted on your table when you actually go there and have a cup of coffee or a drink or whatever you want in the restaurants. But being in the hospitality as well as the leisure industry, comfort is one thing that every client seeks in a restaurant. And especially for an IT capital in the Silicon Valley of India, Bengaluru, today the coffee shops are used as an extension of hybrid working office space. So I don't think so. This is a great idea. I'm totally against this, and this should not be made a benchmark at all, because this is going to really affect their business itself. Because today you have, in case you want the best of coffees, it is all the aggregators are there. A Swiggy, a Zomato, a Blinkit, and an Instamart, and at whisk of your fingers, it is available at your home. So why, or for that matter, your office space. So who will visit the hotels? Mr. Rao, who will visit the hotels if these sort of things are cover charges are bought and for people staying? Because I feel that hotel industry is a service-oriented industry and has to be, in that way to this thing. Otherwise, it can be just like any
So
fast
I can
food.
think the best thing, Mr. Bijan, is training your staff. Do you think that's the best way forward? Training hotel staff should be trained enough to know how to deal with customers in a very polite way, place the bill. The moment you're done with your food, place the bill without any hesitation, ask for the bill to be paid and then say, ma'am, customers waiting, or sir, customers waiting, if we could have this table. That's just very polite request.
Absolutely. Nabila, you're absolutely right. You see, now, even when we go to any restaurant, as you know, the restaurant survival is on the turnover. Now, they've trained their, service providers in such a manner that they are so polite and so courteous, and in a very courteous manner, they would tell you, if they see you that you're just sitting around, you're not ordering anymore, you've finished your meal, they'll very comfortably come and tell you also that, sir, we've got people waiting outside. If you don't mind, if you're finished, and we oblige them. And it's very natural, because sometimes you get so engrossed with your gossip sessions in the restaurant that you don't realize. And then when the service provider comes and helps you to understand, then you acknowledge that, you appreciate that, and you go over. So training is very important. Human resource training is very important in any service industry. In our country, unfortunately, sometimes we don't find it there in that manner which we desire as a consumer. And the owners, they try to bring in a lot of, not as a priority, to give proper training to their people who are working there, give them a class of etiquettes and things like that, how to communicate well. They don't get trained. But some people are born, well communicator. And they definitely also get encouraged, because they know that they will get the gratis, they'll get a tip which would be high. But now that also has got stopped. You see, it's all included in the bill, the service charge. If you want to give
no, you know what? All the more now that with digital payment, there's the tip culture is also dropping, and it's almost ending, in fact, because people quickly pay your on the UPI, they pay the bill and walk out. Earlier, if there was extra change, then you'd say keep it.
I would like to tell you here that you saw how the gig workers agitated, and the government had to think of some policy. Now everybody has to think on those lines before it goes out of control. So the restaurant owners.
But I really hope, Mr. Rao, are you going to place this proposal before the government, or was this just a suggestion?
No, this is what we have just made an attempt, or
so a formal attempt.
On trial basis, we discussed on this matter. You see, this is not going to be there in any fine dining restaurant. In fine dining restaurant, there will be a captain, there will be a service boy.
Okay, so you're saying smaller restaurants. So no, my clear question is: are you making a formal presentation to the government?
No question of present. We were just thinking of what to do.
Okay, that's it. So you're still mulling over it. All right. I wish you don't, and I wish people have better civic sense. Vinod?
Because customer is very
I'll just like to add.
Quickly.
Yes. I want to add quickly that
I will explain
there is
in a minute.
I have no time, sir. Vivek, I'll give you this 30 seconds.
Yes. No, I'd like to sum it up by saying that I have friends and friend's father who goes to MTR for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
And that is not a loyal customer. They go for their morning walks and their coffees to MTRs, and whether you want to see that the low-end customers also need to be thrown. They spend about an hour and a half, and they're doing it for the turn. So, do you want to put a price on loyalty and throw out these customer clients? I don't think so. It's a fair idea, for any restaurant. as Mr. Bijoy Mishra said, maybe
Vidyarthi Bhavan is packed. People love to go there for dosas,
yes.
idlis, whatnot. But they are very
Exactly.
quick. You know, they move like a train.
Yes.
You eat it and that's it. Your plates are removed and people are already standing near your table to take the next seat. So it all depends on how the staff guides customers. I suppose that's a big solution that you could adopt.